Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Gleberman, and you're listening to Silence on Set podcast. So, talk to me. Your work is so good. You are fantastic in the show.
That's kind
I'm so curious about how this project came to you to begin with, who you originally viewed Rudy as, and who he became as the show went on.
How did it come to me? It came to me in a very natural way. It was an audition. I think I had helped a few friends do it first, seen it was doing the rounds. I read it and it's a cliche thing to say, but I really did connect with it on a human level. And I can't really speak for how anybody else approached it, but for me, it was billed as this legal drama about this lawyer. But when I read the script, all I saw was a kid with a lot of, granted a gift for rhetoric and, but with a lot of tension and a lot of discord and a lot of arrogance and a lot of hot-headedness and energy, but also a lot of vulnerability in the things that he had recently in the recent past been through. And for me, that was I connected with it in my life, and I thought, how would all these events and how would I feel about all of this? And so that's really how I saw him to begin with, was a boy, who made mistakes and who wanted to do the right thing in its simplest form. By the end of the show, he goes through everything and he definitely changes, but I think he changes the people around him as well. I don't think he pivots. I think he continues on his course. There's a sense what he has is the arrogance of youth, and what he needs is the weight of experience. And by necessity of him throwing himself into the circumstances that he's in, he gains that experience. He overcomes the obstacles. It's like a very classic coming of age story, and with a twist, with like fun and drama and love and loss and a legal bonanza that, could go sideways at any point.
I feel the same way watching him. I think that's exactly spot on to what you showed and what you did with him and the writers, like over, from the first episode through. It's just super impressive. And I was curious for you too, in terms of, it's almost like the small company fighting for the people. Maybe not initially at the very beginning, but as we meet them, fighting for the people versus fighting a company that's sort of for the man, corporate, if I want to put it that way. So was there something drawn, for you for that, to be able to fight and give a voice to people that are underrepresented in the show?
Definitely. I always thought there was a tension, and these are things I've drawn in my own life, between where he comes from and his education and what that affords him. And there's a line in the middle, and it's the discord, and it's like his heart and his mind, and he's drawn. And Sarah, his girlfriend, represents the education and the wealth and the potential, and that he's trying to escape from this side of himself, which puts it in the shadow. And in a kind of Jungian way, the only way that he can kind of come back to himself is to represent these underrepresented people, because that represents where he comes from, and it's the things that he tried to push to the side to get what he thought he wanted. So it goes full circle for me in lots of ways, definitely. And I think we deal with a lot of social issues in the show, really. Like, they're touched lightly upon, I think, with a lot of skill and a lot of charisma by the writers, but they underpin Grisham's novel, they underpin our show, and they underpin the American legal system today. So it feels very poignant.
I wanted to also kind of bring up, Rudy's so fun too, right? So he's a genius. He's so fun, super smart with, all aspects of law, very caring for people. I wanted to ask you out for, as an actor level. So for you, what was the hardest element of finding Rudy, and what was the easiest element for you in finding him?
The hardest element of finding Rudy for me, there were the practical things, like the dialect was something that took very consistent care and attention to do that justice. What else about him was hard? Kind of the maintenance of the process was in some ways challenging, because, I didn't really have a day off, or if I did, they were very minimal. And that was 6 months of my life that was pretty much devoted to the cause of portraying this guy's plight. The easy parts were the bits like getting to go to work every day. That's such a gift. I would never, as much as I put as much care, effort, and attention into finding hit, like the legal stuff really came quite naturally to me. I felt quite at home there. I didn't really even focus on it. For me, it didn't feel like a legal drama. It felt like a coming of age story about a boy who's grieving and he's in love and all the things that come between him. And then the legal stuff just kind of slotted in down the line.
I did research. I've seen you in a couple other things. I just have a feeling, though, people are going to say, "Oh my God, you're not American," because that's how good your accent is. So
very sweet. Thank you.
Fantastic job with it.
How many episodes did you see?
Well, they give us, I think, 6. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch one, and then I was like, next, next, next.
What did you
Watch
think?
all.
Did you enjoy it?
I love it. But before the show, I had, and I think it's fair, I'll be honest, I had low expectations because I'm like, well, the movie was so good. The book is so fantastic. What could they possibly do in the show? And it's just so fun. And it's it's still true to the message that John Grisham was trying to say, which is that we do need to focus on people that don't have a voice. We do need to show that there's, you know, if you have more money, you have a privilege that other people don't have. And we do need people that are kind of like Rudy, that are smart and intelligent, that yes, something happens which causes him to have to shift over to, you know, like a quote, lesser famous kind of law firm, or, you know, but we need that. That's critical for people to survive in society. So that message still gets across with the show, and it's so fun and all the things you said. So I loved it.
Thank you.
Even though now that part of the interview, people are like, I don't want to hear from her. I want to
No,
hear
no,
from
please.
her.
I'm here to hear what you think.
So really quickly, I just want to ask you, what are you most excited about? And what are you hoping fans think after watching it? Because like me, I'm such a huge fan and I loved it.
I'm excited for people to see it. I'm excited to hear what people think. I kind of hope people take from it what they take from it. And if that's entertainment, that's fantastic. And if they see the message that, you know, we talked about when we were making it, that's also a joy.
So I want to ask both of you, love your characters. So
Yeah.
PJ, for you always play characters that I wish I could just be in life. I just love them. They're fun, they're crazy, they're funny, they say whatever, they live by their own rules. I just love everything about your characters. And this character, Deck, is no different. So I want to talk about, you know, from the start of you getting the first script to how you created him within what was given to you and
Right.
what his trajectory is throughout the show. And then Robin, for you, I love Kelly, obsessed. She's so amazing. So I want to know for you, kind of similarly, when you read for her, you were like, okay, this is what I think in my brain. And then how did that change from when you walked on set and now became her?
First of all, we're doing a John Grisham book, and that's a daunting task, and he's the legend of law. I grew up with him. My dad had his book in his hand because he would travel on planes a lot and bring a paperback. So I have a badillion John Grisham books in my house, so that, you know, knowing you're going to be in a John Grisham book and now it's on TV and you want to be cool. And then in the movie, Danny DeVito, who's my like idol, is playing the same character. So that's like scary as hell because Taxi is like one of my favorite shows of all times and he's a legend. But I also like shows like MASH. Like that's the era of my sweet spot of TV, I feel like. And that's what my character really is in the show. It's like, you know, I was in Wolf of Wall Street. I kind of like that stuff too. It's like, is it a comedy? Is it a drama? Because I feel like that's the closest to what real life is. Like, there's horrible moments and you got to laugh, and there's like, you know, magical moments and you're crying. Like, that's the true humanity. And if you can play the truth and make it grounded and honest and real, that's how you truly succeed. And then I got to bring PJ obviously to the part, and there's some similarities. Like, I can get crazy about acting and go into the zone. I'm a super foodie. Like, I invest in restaurants. My friends own restaurants. So that was like, I'm like, I can't, this is like magical. And it was a big thing for me though too. So I don't know if a lot of people know this though. Everything I'm eating in the show is from a real place in Charleston. I was like, I'm not eating any food that from a place that doesn't exist because there's no advertising for restaurants at all. So I got a buddy who owns Porchetta Shop. We use his place. He recommended all these restaurants like Lewis's Barbecue and Bake Shop. All those places, if you're in Charleston, please go eat there because they're awesome. And all the packaging that you see in the show, they sent over to Dublin because that's where we shot. So go eat at those places. I'm pushing restaurants now as opposed to the TV. That's what we've come down to. Because I believe that our show can live
a
on
lot
its
on
own.
shows.
Yeah. That's my long answer. Now let's go to the car accident over with Gene.
Let's switch over to the serious. The serious part of the show.
Yeah, I got the audition and I watched the film and I was like, Claire Danes is sensational as always. Actually really funny. I was in New York 2 months ago for a wedding and we were walking down the street and my boyfriend was like, that's Claire Danes. And I was like, nah. And it was. And he was like, you have to go and say something. You have to go up to her. And I was like, okay, what do I say? Blah, blah, blah. So I literally went up to her and I was like, she must have been like, who is this person? This like weird English girl being like, hi, I'm Kelly Riker. Hi. But she was once I finally like explained it to her, she was like, oh, that's so cool. And she was so sweet, which was really nice. But playing her. I'm definitely someone that kind of likes to do the work and then kind of forget about it until the moment they kind of say turn over and then you're there and you're in that moment. And yeah, being her was, definitely a challenge. And it is just really important to tell the story, I think. And yeah, I hope I did it.
Well, you did. So I want to know, one, what are you most excited about for fans to see with this project? Because some might not remember the movie or the books. I do watch the movie and read the books. But what are you most excited about for fans to see? And then would you let one of the lawyers on the show represent you if you needed to?
Yeah. Sarah Plankmore can rep me any day. She killed it. Maddie killed it. Honestly, some of her speeches, I know we're not meant to be like Team Tinley Britt, but I was like, yeah, sick. I'm convinced. So bad. I love her. She's great. But yeah.
Oh, look, honestly, look.
Tinley Britt. I wasn't actually Team Tinley Britt, but yeah. Just
I would not hire us to be lawyers because we don't know what the hell we're talking about. But I would if you guys wrote us a monologue, like our lawyers on our show, we can crush a monologue.
Yeah.
And if there's any tips to the real world, go get a real lawyer. Because if I've learned anything, like, don't just defend yourself, because there's a lot going on that I promise you don't know about. But if you get stud lawyers, like, let one of us do the monologue, because we'll crush it. We will crush it. But I think what people honestly going to love about the show, especially if you're a fan of John Grisham and you've read the book, the beauty of a TV show is you can delve so much more into all these characters, and you can see their backstory. You can feel their relationships. You know, there's like a murder thing happening. There's like a whodunit. Like, you're still fighting the big hospital, but then there's so many like love relationships that are simultaneously happening, and there's like a brotherhood between me and Bruiser and me and Rudy. So there's just a lot going on in our show, and I think our attention span in our world right now is like so crazy. I think we help that motto. We're kind of a similar thing. Like, we give you a lot of show in only 10 episodes.
The element of what I feel like, at least for me, reading John Grisham and seeing the movie, was always the importance of giving a voice to the voiceless. And to see you guys both kind of show that element throughout the show, it remains so true to the original work, and then adding in additional stuff makes it fun and fresh and sexy and just everything that you would want. And I just really, truly think that fans are going to react like me, which was, I'm going to watch like one episode, next one. I'm like, I got to watch them all.
I think it gets better. Yes.
So
the
good.
great line, though, you have to say, it's, we're here for people on their worst day. And if you really feel that, and they genuinely care, and they'll do anything to help those people, I hope you felt that. That's awesome.
I love it so much. I think this is a hit. I think this is like a 20-year show.
I start crying right now. I'm like, my kids can go to school. They can go to college.
He's like, I could pay the bills.
I have too many children, Monica. I have too many children. Thank
you so much for talking to me today. I could not be happier for the two of you.
Thank you.
I just am so excited for fans to see it. Thank you for listening to Silence on Set podcast. My name is Monica Gleberman. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more interviews to come.